The Women's Peace and Humanitarian Fund was created in 2015. The reason why it was established is that because we know and we have the evidence that women's participation in peace and security processes and humanitarian response make a concrete difference. It makes it more efficient, it makes it more inclusive. But on the other hand, we also know that the funding that goes to these issues, and in particular to women's organizations and institutions on the ground, is very little and insufficient. The fund was created to respond to this funding gap.
Great, that's great. So can you just give us some examples of what sort of activities the funds are being used for?
So to give you an example, in Burundi, where we invested actually earlier than in the other countries, so we started as early as January 2016, we've been supporting a network of women mediators in the country. So basically it's a network composed of 514 women that lead, they do two things basically. They prevent conflicts, they mediate disputes within the communities. It can be a political conflict, it can be land-related conflict, because it's a huge issue in the country, land-related conflicts. And then on the other hand, they also organize community dialogues. And they've engaged more than 300,000 people already in these community dialogues around sexual and gender-based violence around security issues, around peace issues. To give you an example, in Burundi, the women mediators that we support, they also build economic initiatives for the communities. And for as little as $5,000, they can start an initiative at the community level engaging more than 20 women. And investing in these women's organizations is really very, very important. Basically, the idea is that the humanitarian response is not sufficiently local, so it's not sufficiently sustainable and doesn't support the stakeholders on the ground. So we see the Women's Peace and Humanitarian Fund as a way of implementing the localization commitments, since the funding goes to local women's organizations on the ground.